Regular viewers of the channel will know that I despise tier lists and ranking content. I think they're almost always clickbait slop that doesn't apply to the vast majority of the player base. That is, unless the list is about something as objective and indisputable as the top 15 zones in World of Warcraft. We're going to be using a certified ranking system for this video, each zone being scored in one of 5 categories on a scale of 1 to 10. These will be soundtrack, ambience, environment, NPCs, and Jimmy rustling. The first 4 are pretty self-explanatory, but what is Jimmy rustling? I'm going to use an example to illustrate what this is. First, we've got live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. Very cringe. Complete absence of Jimmy rustling, 0 out of 10. As opposed to animated Avatar: The Last Airbender, based, stirs up many feels, thoroughly rustles Jimmys, 10 out of 10. Very easy concept to understand. Let me know what rustles your Jimmys in the comments below. Thanks for everyone who voted on the community poll. I'll be making more content like this scattered between my sweaty M+ content going forward. So with the rating system in place, let's get into zone 15. First up, we've got a classic, Eastern Plaguelands. Now the soundtrack is kind of mid here. It's nothing too special, but it does have that nice classic vibe to it. Environment, very similar. Cool, but nothing astounding. The ambience with these two combined is very thematically appropriate and does get a slightly higher score. This zone though is carried by its NPCs. The Fiona and the 2 Paladin storyline is probably the best post-Cataclysm storyline in all of the classic zones. Maybe aside from that one in the Badlands where you have to turn into a giant orc and go punch Deathwing in the face, this is well and truly up there. So Eastern Plaguelands getting a 10 in this area. Maybe a little bit of Jimmy rustling, nothing crazy, but like there's a tiny bit of movement down there. Number 14, Azure Span. We're getting into a newer zone already, which is kind of surprising. Music, soundtrack, very tranquil. It's quite a nice, relaxing place to be. Exceptional environment. This zone is absolutely beautiful to look at. The ambience with the mix of the tranquil music and the frosty, magic-ridden environment is fantastic when added together. Nothing through the roof, but still very, very nice as a combination. The NPC score is only at a 6. Now, it would be very low because Caligos is a nerd, but the Tuskar are probably what really brings this up. Yes, chef. Elite faction. So, so good. Little bit of Jimmy rustling. There's not enough nostalgia here to cause much Jimmy rustling, but overall, big score of 27, putting Azure Span in 14th on the rankings. Number 13, Stormheim. Now, the music in basically every Legion zone is very, very good. Nothing that would make me tear up, but still awesome epic vibes with some tranquil beats mixed in between. The environment is sick. There's a lot of verticality in Stormheim, which gives it this big sort of epic feeling. The Viking vibe is awesome, especially when you get down into those lower areas with the Ghost Vikings. Really, really sick vibe overall. So the ambience is fantastic. NPCs are kind of meh. Not a low score by any stretch, because like Viking themes are cool and the Viking NPCs are cool, but still nothing too crazy in the NPC category. This zone definitely rustles the Jimmies a bit more. I really, really like those sort of epic soundtracks and really expansive environments. So putting Stormheim at number 13 does feel like an appropriate place. Number 12, Sholazar Basin. I'm a little sad that I couldn't put this higher up because I actually really, really like the zone just personally, but this is based on objective facts and science, so we're not going to maneuver this list in any other way. Now, in isolation, the soundtrack is like nothing special, but it does fit the vibe of the zone really well. And that is one thing that Sholazar Basin does spectacularly. The environment is beautiful. Between the lush jungles and the Titan buildings around the side, it really does feel like a small pocket of tropical jungle nestled in this desolate, cold environment that is Northrend. This adds to the ambience a bit. bringing it up a little bit higher than some of the other zones that we've covered already. The NPC roster is solid, I would say. Anything with Hemet Nessingwary in it is just always going to be like above average. This zone gets a higher level of Jimmy rustling because for me personally, I love this zone. It's really nice. I still remember being a 15-year-old on my hunter in Mists of Pandaria, flying around trying to get the Spirit Beast pet for my collection. Awesome. Awesome zone. Would love to put it higher, but science puts it at 12. Another classic zone at number 11 is Lochmoden. This has a Poggers soundtrack, like very, very nostalgic. I can feel it inside me whenever I hear the music here. Decent environment. It's nothing crazy, but Dwarven architecture is sick. And then when you mix the music and the Dwarven architecture together, and then on top of that, the classic mobs like the kobolds and the bears, makes for ambience that is very, very, very nice. There's no noteworthy NPCs. We can see a lot of these zones don't have any standouts aside from Eastern Plaguelands with Fiona and that absolutely based storyline. But dwarves are cool, so we're going to jump it up to a 5 because basically all dwarf zones are decently cool. Jimmies are very, very thoroughly rustled here. There is a lot of nostalgia ruffling up my loins in a way that I can't really explain. Awesome. Love the dwarf zones. Really a shame I couldn't put Dunmorrow on here, but it feels like that might be a little bit too far. So, Lochmodan, number 11. Number 10, another Legion zone, High Mountain. The music, environment, and ambience all combined here are carrying this zone hard. The music, just like Stormheim, is so, so good, and it just mixes perfectly with the mountainous environment of High Mountain. I'm going to go a little bit lower on the NPC front. I think Taurens are one of the cooler races in general, but there's really not that many like noteworthy characters. Like nothing really memorable, just a cool selection of NPCs. I'm going to say with this, my Jimmies get rustled a little bit. It's sort of missing the nostalgia factor to really stir me up, but overall, I think putting High Mountain at number 10 is a solid place for it to land. The music, environment, and ambience combined make for a fantastic zone to spend time in. Number 9, Timeless Isle. We have our first music track with a 10. The music in Timeless Isle is absolutely spectacular. I mean, just take a listen to this. So when you add this sick music in with the very cool environment, which is all of the sort of Chinese style architecture, it just makes this perfect blend to create a very, very expansive and epic sort of vibe for the environment. The thing that's funny about Timeless Isle is it's actually very small, but I feel like just the general environmental detail plus the music just makes it feel so much more expansive than it actually is. Cool NPCs. I'm a big fan of the Pandaren just as a general rule of thumb. Lorewalker Cho is cool. Bit better than some of the other zones, but again, nothing out of the ordinary. Jimmy's rustled. Heavily rustled. Love Timeless Isle. So good. Excellent zone. Number 8, Grizzly Hills. Now, the only thing that really held Grizzly Hills back is the NPCs. I feel like there's not that many noteworthy characters in this zone, but the other 4 areas, my God, the music, I honestly probably should have given this a 10 in hindsight. The music is mwah, chef's kiss. The environment, sick. The ambience, absolutely pog. Jimmy's so rustled. I love flying over this zone. Sometimes I'll just go there just for the fun of it. The vibes are amazing in Grizzly Hills. Easy number 8. It's a shame that it's not higher because the NPCs kind of dragged it down, but you know, we use hard evidence and science with this list, so I am not going to be altering things. Number 7, a Shadowlands zone. Now, you wouldn't think of Shadowlands zones when you're thinking of like top 15 anything really. Shadowlands sucked. But Revendreth is a standout. The environment is sick. The architecture, and the sort of dark vampiric thing that they've got going on across the whole zone. Really, really good. We listen to the music. It's a little bit over the top, but I think it like fits the vibe of the zone really well. The ambience is on point. We're going to go an 8 for the NPCs because Daddy Denathrius, but also like the entire cast in this zone is really good. I probably could have even bumped that up a little bit higher. We're going to go maybe a 7 on the Jimmy Rustling scale because having it be from Shadowlands kind of like taints the zone a little. But on its own, Revendreth is just excellent piece of content. Number 6, probably a surprising one, Krasarang Wilds from Mists of Pandaria. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to break the scientific scale, but the music in this zone is so good. Holy shit, it is like incredible. Just listen to this. It is just fantastic. Now, the environment is decent. The ambience is like poggers, but it's just because of the music. The NPCs are meh. My Jimmies are rustled basically just because of the music. The music is so good in this zone. I encourage anyone to just go sit here for a bit. The soundtrack is just mwah. It's so good. Number 5, Teldrassil. Back to the classic zones again. This one is just, I think, a solid zone overall. The NPCs are the only category that I think really hold Teldrassil back. I mean, it is solid. Night Elves are cool. I'm a big fan of the Night Elf lore, but there's just nothing that really super stands out for me here. The music, though, is so good. The environment and then the ambience, all of these combined just create this sublime atmosphere. I love Teldrassil. I'm going to say my Jimmies get rustled a lot in this zone, partially because of the combination of all of these elements, but also because I can just remember 12-year-old me running through this zone on my 6th Night Elf Hunter named Legolas with a funny E. Such a good zone. The vibes, everything just meshes so well. Number 4, Old Nagrand. Now, this is the first zone where I think all of the areas are actually like clicking together. There's nothing that's really lagging behind. Music is good. I'd say it's nothing incredible, but it's very nice. The environment and the ambience are so nice. This zone feels spacious. It feels like it's so hard to describe, but the fact that we're on this desolate, spell magic ridden world, and yet we still have these expansive, open, grassy plains. It's just such a nice juxtaposition between the two. Fantastic vibes. Sick characters. We've got Hemet Nessingwary again, but then even all of the other factions in the zone and the ogres and the Talar area in the middle. It's very good on the NPC front as well. The combination of all of these rustles the Jimmies very hard. This zone is getting well up there. Number 4, I'm happy to say, is Old Nagrand. Starting out, the top 3 is Mulgore. Now, I'm an Alliance player. I always have been, but I cannot deny that Mulgore is by far the best starting zone, second to none. It is this perfect blend of really sick nostalgic music, these wide open plains with the massive cliff-like spires coming up through the center. You've got the NPCs that just fit the vibe of the zone so well. Now, I don't think there's any super standout NPCs, but like as a general overall vibe, the Tauren are very cool. And the Jimmies get rustled. I feel a lot of movement there. It is basically just this perfect blend of open spaces, tribalistic music. Mulgore is Blizzard's finest accomplishment when it comes to starting zones. Number 2, a new zone, believe it or not, Hallowfall. I have busted the scales with this zone again. I cannot express how good of a zone Hallowfall is. The music is so unbelievably good, it's unreal. The atmosphere of the environment and the music together with the massive crystal spire in the background. This open expanse, even though you know that you're underground, is just, it's so good. The Hallowfall Arathi is a sick faction. I've only given it an 8 for NPCs because I still think there's no real standout NPCs, but the entire faction is so good. When War Within released, I spent almost the entirety of early access just flying around this zone picking herbs and mining nodes. Hallowfall is an absolute masterpiece. The music is fantastic. The environment is beautiful. The combination of the two make for this grand, epic feeling zone. I am really sad that I couldn't put it at number 1, but in saying that, number 1 is just such a clear winner that I couldn't even dispute it. Hallowfall is our silver medalist. And the winning zone, based on the objective science that I have undertaken, is Storm Peaks. This zone breaks the charts. The environment is so cool. The thunderous, snowy mountain peaks in combination with arguably the best soundtrack, second to none. Hallowfall is like probably neck and neck, but oh my god, Storm Peaks is the best. NPCs, so good. When we combine the factions with the fact that there's Ulduar over in the background, Storm Peaks is just this perfect combination of everything. And it rustles my jimmies so hard. I am a person that has multiple accounts, and I have gotten the Time Lost Proto-Drake 4 times, and I've solo camped it every time. The main reason being, I like sitting in this zone. My first TLPD took me like 500 hours, and I enjoyed every minute of it. The music did not get switched off for a single second. This zone is the absolute peak of design from World of Warcraft, from Blizzard. This is the most spectacular zone, I think, in any game I've ever played. Easy number 1. I don't even think there's any way to dispute this. It is the best zone, hands down, scientifically proven, absolutely no bias whatsoever. Storm Peaks is the winner. So there you have it, the most indisputable and final ranking of every WoW zone in the game. If you disagree, just know that you're objectively wrong, but still feel free to let me know in the comments below. Can't argue with science though. Big thank you to all my YouTube channel members on screen. Check out the join button if you want to support the channel, get access to premium Discord, or some elaborate video shoutouts in the future. That's all from me. Back to my regular sweaty Mythic Plus content next video. Until then, gamers, take care.